Welcome to Xtra, presented by VDG Sports. I'm your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter, very sincere. You can follow Xtra on Twitter at XtraVDG. Be sure to follow Xtra on Twitter at XtraVDG. Check out VDGSports.com. VDGSports.com. There's a YouTube as well. Everything is almost there, but everything is there at VDGSports.com. And if you want to keep up with me and my whereabouts and all of the mishaps, unfortunate mishaps, you can, and that be at VinceDouglasGregory.com. Spell that again? Nope, I'll say it. VinceDouglasGregory.com. That's me, my whereabouts, and what have you, and everything in between. Noobs, thank you. Thank you, noobs, for giving me an opportunity. There's not a lot of you, there's a few, but hey, thank you for giving me a shot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Regs, we back at it again. We do what we do. It's almost every day, but we hold it down for most days. Yeah, we do. And non-verbal peeps. You're quiet, not forgotten. You're quiet, we don't speak, we just communicate non-verbal. Maybe that's why I have a special relationship with Ryan Pace, because we just don't talk. We communicate non-verbal through cues. Anyhow, this is an oldie but goodie. This is an oldie but goodie because I have yet to do what I need to do far as travel and see things, or basically just get a little of that new. In fact, I might just go ahead and get around to something because I think enough time has passed. But we will see. I can't make any promises, but we will see. In fact, I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna try to make this work. I'm gonna try to make it work. All right, so this is back in my university days, and no, I'm not gonna go back and tell the one story with me singing, dancing, and making my chest pop. Yes, I was doing it in college too. I was doing it at the university too. Yes, my nerdy university where everybody hung out at the library, but there was a few of us who threw parties. There was a few of us who threw kickbacks. There was a few of us who kind of just went above and beyond the normal scene there. And that was just having people over and doing what college students probably did at other colleges more often than at mine. But that's okay. And yes, I'm using university and college, throwing the words around. Hey, this your adventure. You pick, you choose. I'm just the narrator here. This is your adventure. You pick, you choose. I'm just the narrator here. It was one of these parties where I was singing, dancing, making my chest pop, and I stood up on the table and I started singing, dancing, and making my chest pop as well. But for some reason, I did not know the weight limit of the table. I did not know there was a required limit. Well, basically, you can't be above a certain amount or the thing will just snap in half. I didn't know that at the time. I know it now from experience. I didn't read the instructions. Nobody told me to stop. Nobody told me the ramifications behind it. I just went with what made me feel good. And at the time, standing on that table and getting a few thrusts in, yeah, standing on that table, in the kitchen table where we used to eat food on. Granted, there was like a cloth over it, so the table itself was protected, and the table itself didn't belong to anyone there. It belonged to the university. That table belonged to the university. I decided that I was gonna take my singing, take my dancing, and take my chest popping to the next level. I was ready to level up. I was ready to show that I am an expert when it came to singing, dancing, and making your chest pop on a table. And I was just gonna do some things. I was gonna let my creativity show. I was gonna let my creativity just go with the flow and go with the mood. And you already know singing and dancing is something I've been doing for a very, very long time. So singing and dancing was definitely something that made me feel good. And I like to do things that make me feel good, especially when a few adult beverages are been provided. Especially when a few adult beverages been provided, and I can say a few adult beverages was definitely provided. How many at the time, I cannot recall. I'm not pleading the fifth. I'm not making a story up. I'm not making none. I just don't remember. And yes, I have the receipts. I got the receipts. I might release. Actually, I'm gonna have to think about that one. But if I do release that, I'm gonna release it on VinceDouglasGregory.com. The receipt to this, I'm gonna release it on VinceDouglasGregory.com. But I just don't know right now. I wanted to up the ante. I wanted to level up. I wanted to show that I was an expert when it came to singing and dancing. And one of the ways for me to do that, one of the ways for me to show that, was take this to the next level, which required me to get on top of the table. But I didn't read the instructions. I didn't know that there's a weight limit. No, you cannot exceed X amount. I didn't know. How much did I weigh at the time? I didn't know. Was I working out at the time? Was I going to fitness centers? Was I doing all that at the time? Yes, I was. But I could not tell you my exact weight. All I know was I put my left foot up on the table first, and soon as I tried to swing my right leg up to put it on the table just snapped in half. Soon as I decided to put my right leg up on the table just snapped like clue. But don't worry, do not worry. I didn't get hurt. I did not get hurt. I didn't hurt anyone. My feelings was not hurt. My pride wasn't hurt. I wasn't shamed. There was no walk of shame. There was nothing bad in a sense of that happened with me, except for having to pay for the table, having to pay for the damaged table, having to pay for the damaged table. And I could have did the wrong thing. I could have did the wrong thing and just told the person who's was having the kickback, look, it ain't my fault. Did I do that? Ooh, it ain't my fault. Did I do that? I could have said it ain't my fault. Did I do that? I could have said, this is on you. This is on you. You know I like to sing. You know I like to dance. You know I like to make my chest pop. And so me up in the ante, me taking this to the next level, this is something you should have predicted. This is something that you should have predicted. This is something that you should have knew that was happening. This is something that you should have knew that was coming. This should be no surprise to anyone else, because when situations like this happen, I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm making my chest pop. Usually it's by myself. Sometimes the people joining in. Sometimes we're doing it in the mirror. Sometimes we're doing it at night. Sometimes I'm just doing it just to do it because there's a soundtrack in my head that's playing, and I just gotta dance to the music. I gotta dance, I gotta groove to the music, and I just gotta let my spirit show. I just gotta let my soul glow. I just gotta let that inner animal, basically that spirit animal, I gotta let it free. I gotta let my spirit animal free. Cause when you keep your spirit animal caged up for so long, it's gonna run wild. And when your spirit animal been caged up for so long and he's running wild, you don't want to know what it's gonna do. Why? Because you can't control it. Why can't you control it? Because you done had it locked up for so long. Do we want to abuse animals like that? Side note, no real animals were abused in this situation. I'm making a point here. So if you don't understand that I'm making a point here, I suggest you just go ahead and keep it moving. Thank you for giving me this much time. Thank you for giving me this much time. But the rest of us will continue. And if you decide that you would like to continue too, I suggest you go sit off in the go over there somewhere. Go somewhere else and try to think about the decision that you made and how did you get to the thoughts that you got to, that I was really abusing animals, especially when I specifically said my spirit animal and having my spirit animal caged up was bad. So I'm agreeing with you, and no animals are harmed. All right, side note, you don't want to let your spirit animal just lock up for so long, because when it's free, it's running wild. It's doing everything that it wanted to do. It's doing everything that it's been thinking about doing since the entire time that it's been locked up in a cage. It's free now. Once you let it go, it's like, think about it. When you have that first sip of water, when you just been outside sweating, outside doing something for so long, and your energy's tapped, your energy's low, and then you get that first beverage, that first liquid beverage, and it's just ice cold, and then you take that sip. It could be the worst beverage ever. It could be the worst adult beverage ever. It could be something that you truly don't like, but it's cold. It's ice cold. It's the ice cold beverage that you need to quench that thirst. Yes, the thirst, not that thirst, but the other thirst. The thirst that's gonna replenish you. That's gonna replenish you and make you feel good. Think about that. When you had that first sip, that first sip of that beverage, and it just hits your inside. Your inside is just like, ooh, it's singing that song. Amazing. And amazing is my favorite word. That's how the spirit animal is. That's how the spirit animal feels once it's let loose. And that is why I say it really wasn't my fault that this happened. But I'm a stand-up individual, right? I know what I don't know, and I know what I know. I know that being put in a position like as such, I was gonna level up. I also knew that I did not know the weight limit of the table going into the event. I also knew that sometimes you just have to chalk things up to happenstance. And I also knew that it was probably my fault. I can't really 100% say that I wasn't set up for failure, but for the sake of the argument and for the sake of just go ahead and trying to get that entire situation handled, and that entire situation, just go ahead and just let it be over with, so we can continue to do what we do at the university, study at the library, hang out at the library, and all of the other things at the library. But this wasn't the library, so my spirit animal had to run free. I knew that breaking that table would come with a cost after the fact, when the guy whose room it was told me that the table cost X amount of dollars. And I was like, okay, I got you. Don't worry about it. I'm a stand-up individual. So in my mind, I got it. I'm gonna pay. It's all good. It's okay. I just didn't know when I was going to pay, and it's not what you think, because I tried to pay it immediately, but for some weird reason, the university people there and how everything was set up, they did not want to take the payment until the end of the semester. And who knew or who knows that me and this guy, me and my peeps, would still be cool at the end of the semester and what have you. But I paid it. I got the receipt. I might post the receipt online at VinceDouglasGregory.com. But sometime when you win, you lose. And when you lose, you win. And when you make an impression, it's there forever. Was I known as the guy who broke the table for the rest of my time at the university? Nah. I was known as the cool kid. I was known as the cool one because I couldn't do the library. I made that known. The whole library situation was not me. I just ain't got the brain power for that. I don't have the brain power for that. Watching grass grow is something I can get down with. I got the brain power for that. But being inside of the library just to hang out and not really study, only leave the library to go and do what you was planning to do at the library anyway, I value time way too much, and it's something about efficiency. So I was that guy. Breaking that table was just a friendly reminder that sometimes when you keep your spirit animal caged up for so long, you just have to chalk up an L or charge it to the game. Well, what happens next? Lesson learned, lesson learned. No feelings hurt, no friendships broken. It is what it is. It's Manny being Manny.